Welcome to the Dreamweaver crash course. For those of you who don't know, Dreamweaver is a web development tool and it's used mainly for creating web pages and websites. To start, what you need to do is open your Dreamweaver program, which I already have open. Go up to File, New. Everything is already set up in default. We're just going to go down to Create, and that'll open up your document. Just to explain the different sections so that you're somewhat familiar, because when you first start Dreamweaver there's just a lot on the screen and it can be somewhat overwhelming. So just to explain a little bit before we get into it, the different sections, well, first off, I'm going to make sure that we have the same look here, and it's possible that some people may have different looks. So what you're going to go up to is the workspace switcher right here. Click that drop down and go to classic, and so once everybody's on classic, we'll all have the same workspace layout. Now the different sections start at this section here is called the insert bar, and this is where you have just things that you use that you insert into your document. And so there's different tabs, like say the comment tab, and they're all pretty self-explanatory. The comment tab has things you'll use a lot, the commonly used things, and then you have the layout, you have data, forms, different elements for those things, text. Then your favorites, which is empty, and you can add things that you personally use all the time. Next section is this big open space here. This is called the document window. This is where your document actually will show up, and as you create it, it'll be here. Right above it, you'll see the document toolbar, and this is where you have your views, your design view, which shows you your document as you design it, the code view, which shows the underlying HTML code, so you can go and make quick edits and things like that. And of course the split is just both views side by side. You have a live view, which shows you what your document looks like, close to what it looks like in a browser. Things like script and things like that will run, so you'll be able to see them. And then this globe here is your preview button. You click that if you want to preview your document in an actual browser. Another section over here to the right is where all of your panels are. And for us, the main panels we'll use is the CSS styles panel, and it'll show all your rules for CSS and allow you to add new rules and edit rules that you already have. Down here in the files panel you'll see all the files you'll have as you create your site. At the bottom will be, this is right here, it's called the property inspector, and this is when you click on different sections of your page, all of the properties that correspond to that section will pop up down here. All the different things you can make adjustments to those sections. Right below the document window, you'll see the status bar. On the left of the status bar is what's called the tag selector, and all of the tags associated with that section of the document will be here. For all you guys that are familiar with HTML, that'll look pretty familiar to you. To the right, you'll see your different tools, your select tool, hand tool, and zoom tools, and some information about your document. Now that I went over that, we'll go through everything in more detail as we go along. I just wanted to kind of explain a little bit to you so you're not so overwhelmed. Now before we get started, I do want to suggest, if you want to use the same images and files that we use to create our document as we go through the crash course, you can go to the the downloads page on our site techmultiverse.com and download the Dreamweaver project file. It's a zip file, it's small, it'll be a quick download, and it'll have all those images in it. So as we add different things, you can add the exact same thing, so your document will look just like ours. If you don't want to do that, you can just use whatever you have on your computer. It'll still get the job done, and you'll be able to follow us. Now the first thing you do is, when you start a new site, is you have to set the site up. So you go up here to this little, looks like networking icon or something. You click that, you get on a new site, click that, and it's going to bring up a little box. And what you want to do is you want to name your site. And just for this lesson, I'm going to call our site the UFO Lookout. That's cool. And then we have to set up a folder for our website. So I'm going to put it on the desktop. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call that folder the same thing, the UFO Lookout. Okay, then we're gonna open that, and then we're gonna select this. So that'll be the location of our website. Also, another thing I want to do is set up a place for all of our what are called assets. Those are all the parts that make up the page, images and things like that. And to do that, you click Advanced Settings, and right here in Local Info, it says Default Images folder. And so we're going to browse to our desktop, and we're going to put it inside our UFO Lookout folder. So you find that, create new, and we're just going to call it Assets. Oops. And the reason we do that is because as you start to create all of the pieces that make up your website, you'll end up with a bunch of image files and other files, and what you want to keep those all organized so that they don't get in the way when you're trying to find an HTML file and it's drowned out by all the other stuff. So this kind of helps keep your website organized. So click that, select it, and it shows up there. Save. Okay, and now if you look down at the files panel, you'll see our site. There's our site name, there's our folder for assets, and we're ready to go. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to set up our home page. It's the first page people usually will come to on your page. We do have a blank document open, so we're going to go ahead and save that and make that our home page. So we go down, save. It's inside our folder already. And the name of this, let's just call it, I don't know, first web page. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm just going to call it first web page. And click save. And as you see, the document is right there. Our first web page HTML file. It's down there in our local files, which is cool. It's a good thing. And we're going to add a title. And I'm going to call it, this is the title of our document. Now, where the title usually will show up is when you open up a new tab in a browser. On the tab, that's where the title of that page will show up. So it shows up right there. It's not necessarily the name of the document, but it's the title of the web page. And I'm going to call it UFO homepage. Okay, now we have a title. And let's see what we want to do next. We're going to set the page properties. What I want to do is I want to set up some, and the page properties is down here in the property inspector. What that'll allow you to do is make changes that affect the entire page. So when you open up a page properties box, will open, and you'll actually see different things that you can change. And this affects all of those things on the entire page. So we have appearance, we have links, headings. Those are basically section titles, and the different numbers are for the different degrees. So the main title would probably be heading 1. Any subtitles under that would be heading 2s, and any even more under that section, even more, in between those sections would be maybe 3, and just different degrees. So you can make those changes. And here, the title and coding, you can make changes to your document. Here's our title. Another place you can add the title of your document, and then doc types and encoding, things like that. When we set up the page and it had all the default options, these are other ways where you can make changes if for some reason you wanted to change it after you already had set it up. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go up to appearance, and we're going to change the background color. And I'm going to use green. Let's go with this one right here. It'll be hex 060. Click that. And let's change our links. Now, regular links are usually like this blue color, and we're going to change them to white. So go down to link color, down in links, click links. And the link color we want, instead of default, will be white. And so that's right here on the left. And it'll be FFF, hex FFF. And leave it always underlined. We'll leave that, and that's all we'll do. That'll be good enough for now. Let's click apply, boom, and okay. And there's our document turned from white to green. So now we have a green background for our UFO. And that's kind of like alienish, right? So that'll get us going. Next, what we want to do is insert a banner. Banners are usually nice images that show up at the top of a home page. They usually have the name or some kind of menu or something like that, or just an image. It kind of gives it some flair to your web page. And we're going to insert one of those. To do that, what we need to do is insert an image. And up here in the common, there's a little picture here. You click the drop down arrow and go to image, and it'll open up a browser box to allow you to browse for for your image. Now, if you downloaded the project file, you can use image for there. If not, just find an image on your computer or just download one from somewhere and use that. I have the project file already downloaded, so I'm gonna go in there and get it, and it's called banner. Just click it, click OK. It'll ask you for accessibility attributes, alternate text, and what that is this is optional, but if for some reason a person visiting your page can't see the image, it doesn't show up for some reason or something, the alternate text will let them know what should be there, what would normally be there. So I'm just going to skip through, but that's something when you're actually building a site, that's definitely a good thing to always fill in, because it just helps people understand and have a better connection to your site. So, but we're going to skip it for now. And once you do that, the banner pops up, the UFO lookout, we're all set, and I click out of the banner so that my cursor is right next to it. And now our site looks pretty cool. What we're going to do is we're going to add a menu link, and that'll be just something we'll turn into a link later. For now, it'll just be text, but we'll turn it to a link later so that it can connect to another page. And that's how we'll navigate from this page to another page on our website. And let's see here. Okay, we're going to call it UFO News. So our next page will be a news page. I like that. UFO News. And right now it's black. And I know we changed our links to white, but it's just normal text for now. We're going to change to a link soon, but just not just yet. We don't have a page to link it to, so we'll have to get that all set up. We're going to add a horizontal rule, and what that is just basically a line, a horizontal line that separates and sections off our page. And so to add that, you go up to the Commons tab, make sure that's clicked, and this little bar here is the horizontal rule. You click that, and your rule comes up, and I clicked out of that, hit the left arrow to move my cursor in front of it, hit enter, so our cursor goes under it, and as you see, it's starting to kind of look like a page, kind of basic, but we're getting there.